All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining, and apologies again for the technical difficulties. Having run multiple software companies, I can promise it's almost no guarantee in life like software not always working like you hope. That is what it is. Even companies as advanced as Zoom have issues. I am going to get started now and introduce myself. I'm Adam Fritz, as most of you probably know by now. I'm the CEO of Pozotron. I've been with the company since beginning of 2021, so going on 2.5 years now. And I would like to introduce Johnny Freeman, who many of you might have exchanged emails with to date, but Johnny joined us as our customer outreach manager in, I guess that would have been beginning of May, correct, Johnny?
It's been just about 2 months.
So I will have Johnny just to say a little bit about himself and introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. Johnny here. Nice to meet you. I may have met some of you already. But yes, I am Pozotron's customer outreach manager, here to help you get the most out of Pozotron, either through one-on-one training sessions or answering your support tickets. And I live in Clearwater, Florida. And I have 2 adorable dogs, which you might hear them barking. If so, I'll mute myself. But very nice to meet you all.
Awesome. All right. Okay, we're going to get started. So the purpose of today, we're going to go over the basics of Pozotron. So we're going to cover all of the tools at a high level. If you do have interest in diving a little deeper, Lindsay, if you could just share the round robin meeting link in the chat, that would be fantastic, because then you'll be able to book a demo with either myself or Johnny or Daria based on our availability, and really dive deep into all of the features we're going to show you today and your individual workflow. We believe very strongly, and there's no charge for that, we believe very strongly, and it's obviously in your best interest for the software you're paying for to know exactly how it works and the best way to use it. It's also in our best interest, because the more that we can help people fully integrate Pozotron into their workflow, our customers are going to get more value out of the money they pay us, and they're going to be happier longer term customers. So we're happy to do it. Please do book a demo with us, and we'd love to chat with you. Okay, webinar agenda today. So we're going to go over some of our June is audiobook month promotions that we're running. We're going to go through the script prep tools. Then we're going to show off a lot of our proofing and reporting tools, show off audio analysis, talk about some of the new features we've released, and then go over some upcoming releases as well. And then finally, we'll have time for Q&A. If you do have questions throughout the webinar, though, I'll just reiterate, raise your hand, or you can type it into the Q&A box. Please don't put it in the chat, because as people chat there, they get lost. So much easier in the Q&A box. Okay, first, June is audiobook month. So if you are ever referring, I don't know how many people actually know this, but if you ever refer users to Pozotron, regardless if you are an affiliate or not, you get free stuff. So based on what your referrals do, so if I refer Johnny to Pozotron and he signs up, I get free credits. If Johnny uploads audio for the first time, I get some free credits. And if Johnny pays his first subscription payment to Pozotron, I get free credits. We are doubling all of those referral credits for June. So if you refer new users to us, you will get new credits. So that's very exciting. We are big believers in audiobooks, and June is a very fun month to celebrate the wonderful industry we all work in. So we wanted to make sure to incentivize all of our happy users to tell more people about Pozotron. If you do want to refer someone, you click up here. Hopefully, Johnny, you can see my Pozotron screen.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you're going to click on your email up here. You're going to click on refer a new user. I'm not going to click on that because I have a bunch of people who I've referred and I don't want to show their email. But then what you're going to be able to do is there's a little link there with a clipboard icon to copy it, copy and paste that URL for them, and they will go to a website that looks like this, where it's a landing page that will have information. It'll actually show them who referred them as well, which is right here. Congratulations, you were referred to Pozotron by Adam at pozotron.com. They can book a demo with us. They can look at our plans and pricing, view our support resources, and contact us. And then they can also actually just sign up with an account in Pozotron. If someone registers for an account through your referral page, that account will automatically be linked to your account. So anytime that user does something, you get those free credits. Finally, for June is audiobook month. We're also running a raffle for free use of our script prep tools for an entire year. Lindsay, correct me if I'm wrong, but for every, or Johnny for that matter, for every 1 hour of audio uploaded in the month of June, you will get 1 entry into the raffle. And then at the end of the month, we will be randomly drawing 1 person to get free use of as many script prep projects as possible for an entire 12-month period. And please stay tuned for more on if you don't follow us on social media, you can go to our website and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn. And we'll be putting more information and some personal audiobook recommendations and things like that on our social media pages. Okay, so we are going to start with the script prep tools. So the pronunciation guide. Really, the goal of all of our script prep tools is so all of you are going to prepare your books as efficiently, as effectively as you currently are, if you're not using those tools, in a fraction of the time. So I'm going to show off the pronunciation guide. So the way this tool works is you're going to upload your script, you're going to click on pronunciation, and you're going to click on open suggestions. And what this does, I'm going to ignore those two. This gives you a suggestion of every word our algorithm believes your average narrator may not know how to pronounce. And so that is based on 3 categories of words: capitalized rare terms, so generally proper nouns that are capitalized in the book and are uncommon. Complex terms, this is based on two, soon to be 3 ways that we do this. 1, we have a database of about 150,000 words in English that we've gone through, have paid narrators to go through line by line. 2, we use what are called trigraphs, where it's 3-letter combinations that are judged by linguists to produce both difficult to pronounce and uncommon pronunciations in English. And then 3rd would be foreign words. You can also toggle on capitalized common, which shows you every capitalized word in the book. But as you can see here, it just went from 40 to 252 suggestions. What you're going to do, you can also hover over this magnifying glass to see up to 5 examples of that word in the book. And then you're just going to choose add to research or ignore on each of these entries. You can also use the R and I hotkeys, R for research, I for ignore, and it'll always interact with the first on this list. I'm just going to add a few here. We do support multiple dictionaries through an API. So Oxford US, Oxford GB, and Forvo. Forvo also does give you the ability to choose different languages, as well as in English or Spanish, different accents, as well as the gender of the speaker. The one thing about Forvo, for those of you who don't know, Forvo is the Wikipedia of pronunciations. It is completely crowdsourced. So we have no control over the quality of that pronunciation. When we call the Forvo dictionary, for example, in unaccented English, we get their highest rated pronunciation back. And then, for example, if I wanted to see the Canadian version, pronunciation version for a certain word, if Forvo has no pronunciation entry uploaded by a Canadian user, it just returns no results. Okay, when you have created your research list, in the event that the word is found, let me add a couple more words here. Okay, it will show up like this, where you see here
snobbishly,
abortive, algorithm.
So it will automatically pull the phonetic text and the audio file. One question we do get, I don't know how to read IPA, as I'm assuming a decent number of people also do not. We are working with Oxford. They are going to release an update that will allow us to allow users to choose the IPA or a more phonetic text like this, which I had entered previously, but that is not available yet. In the event that something is not found, so let's take, for example, the name Oliva here, it will look like this. It'll come back with no phonetics. You have a couple different options. You can choose to change your dictionary. So in this case, I could choose Forvo, click save, and then I'm going to click this update research word. Nothing is found. One thing to note as well with Forvo, Forvo's API does not send the phonetic text. It only sends the audio file there. So if it is not found, I've got a couple options. I can click here to search it in Merriam-Webster, which opens it in a new tab. So I can copy and paste this here. Again, that didn't work. There we go. It's the wrong button. You can also click here to search it in Oxford. This returns to Forvo if I change the dictionary to Oxford. You can also click here to search it in onelook.com, which basically searches every pronunciation entry on the internet for something a little more. So for example, if I typed computer in OneLook, it would probably give about 70 different, 53 dictionaries with different pronunciations, all the way down to medicine dictionaries, science, sports, a whole bunch of other things. Finally, you can also search it in Youglish, which is a very handy tool. And then I can play the pronunciation of Oliva.
A little goat.
This is Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Not how I would pronounce Oliva, but what I'm going to do here is, let's just assume that is correct. I am going to copy that. Go in here, record Oliva. Then I can also enter the URL there, and it becomes a clickable link. So here you've got Oliva, the phonetic text, as well as that external link as well. Very easy tool to use. You can also add custom words here, so you can add anything you'd like in that box. Here we've got Pozotron. It does also show you the count, so that's how many times in the script that word appears, and then the page number, the first page on which it appears. You can also import in a list or import from Excel as well. So a very powerful tool there. And feel free to jump in with any questions you have. In terms of export formats, you can export it to Excel, or you can export this as an online packet, which is an HTML version in read-only format that you see here. If you do want to collaborate, you can also click share and type in any information that you'd for whoever you want to share the project, and they can join and contribute to that project free of charge. Okay. Now, character guide. So this works somewhat similarly. However, it gives you an output of every character found in the book. So in this case, I am going to just use the characters here and do Sherlock and Watson. You can add a character photo here. Oh,
quick question, Adam.
Yeah.
Question coming in from the Q&A from Lindsay Johnston. Not sure who it's from. But if she says, if we add our own pronunciation, does that become available to the general Pozotron population?
It does not. That's a very good question. Also, if you can add, if your name is coming up as Lindsay Johnston, just add your name into there so we can at least refer to you by name and not Lindsay 1, 2, 3 to 15. It does not. It is only available in your account. So that is a very good question. So here is an example of chairing. Chairing. That's my dulcet tones that you can hear there. So what it does is, if a word is not found in the dictionary, API dictionary that you've chosen, but you have added a pronunciation of that word in a previous project, it will first default to what is found in the dictionary. And then if nothing is found there, it'll default to something you have recorded previously. We do not share that information across accounts. So it's not crowdsourced. That data is private to your account. Then I do see, can you go to each location a name word is found in the script? Not currently, but that has never been asked, and that's actually a fantastic idea. So we do have that ability in proofing, which I will show you, but we do not. So Johnny, if you could just take a note there, that's something we should definitely add in. Very good idea, Lindsay Johnston, number 12. Okay. Character guide. So you can add a photo. This came up from an idea that a customer asked us, where he said all he needed to get in the right frame of mind for a character is to add a picture of Matthew McConaughey, where it just told him everything about the accent and the tones he wanted to speak in. So you can do that. You can also hover over this magnifying glass and see up to 5 examples of that character in the script. If you do have a character that is referred to by multiple names in the script, so for example here, Sherlock may be referred to as Holmes, you can click there, and then it will connect the Sherlock and Holmes in the script if you do use our export marked up script functionality. You can add in character description here, so brilliant and obstinate detective. You can add up to 10 lines of dialogue as well as emojis. I wonder if there's a grumpy emoji. No, there's not. You can add character voice notes, so deep baritone, upper class London accent, click save. You can also record yourself speaking for up to 30 seconds in that character's voice, or upload an existing audio file of you speaking in that character's voice, or you can insert. So let's say, for example, you have a video for a voice of someone that you want to replicate. You can insert a link there as well. We are adding more functionality for multicast and duet audiobooks, where you'll be able to record multiple samples in that character's voice. Okay, you can also export this to Excel. You can export an offline packet as well, which you can also do to the pronunciation guide, I should have said, which is a zip file with an HTML file in it that opens up a page offline just like this, as well as MP3s of each individual audio file you've recorded. Okay, can you add a pause stop button for the audio? Also a good suggestion, and I don't see why not. We may have actually added that into the development roadmap, but if not, Johnny, if you could take a note there, that would be great.
Yep, on it.
Okay. Export marked script. So once you've done your research, let me just add some notes here. And this is the pronunciation for the characters' names. You can export your marked up script. Okay. Can you see this PDF here, Johnny?
Yes, we can.
So then what this does, this exports your PDF back to you with every word on your pronunciation guide highlighted in yellow with a comment box for the correct pronunciation here. Let me close this here. There's an example. Whoa, my computer is going slowly. Here we go. Character names are highlighted in blue, or they're highlighted in blue if they do not have a pronunciation entry. So when I added that pronunciation of their name, it turned to green because blue plus yellow equals green with the notes you've added about that character. And you can see Sherlock and Holmes are connected because sometimes he may be referred to as Sherlock, sometimes as Holmes, and I use that alias feature. Then I'll show you pronunciation example here. There we go, algorithm with the phonetics that you added. A future release will actually turn this export into a transcript, a live HTML version of a teleprompter where you actually be able to click, for example, on the word algorithm and play the audio recording that you inserted there. So a really easy way to start your script markups. Okay, final thing I wanted to go over is transfer research, which is a really powerful tool that we are going to be making some updates on in the very near future. But what this does is you got a series of books. So let's say, for example, I've got demo project 2023. I want to transfer all of my pronunciation research to a different project. I'm going to go import, export, transfer research from the original project. I'm going to choose demo project 2022. I just transferred all 8 words into that demo project 2022. And if I open up that project here, all of that research will have been transferred. You have to do that in 2 clicks, once for the pronunciation list and then once for the character guide, because those just need to be treated as different lists. We do have an update coming. Currently, there's a couple odd edge cases because this feature has been used a lot more recently that we've discovered, and we're going to be making some updates to it where you will be able to transfer the research and then decide once that research has been transferred to show everything. So if you've got 1,000 words on your original book and you want to transfer all 1,000 words, regardless of if it is found in your book 2 script, you'll have the option to transfer all of the words or only the words found in that second script. So some customization coming for that feature. Okay, before I move on from script prep, do we have any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. Proofing and reporting. This is the main part of Pozotron's tool and it has been around the longest. So I'm going to go through proofing. Pozotron's proofing algorithm is designed to catch every mistake your narrator makes in narration, and you need to go listen to each one of those mistakes, what we call an annotation or a suggestion, and then decide whether they actually need to be fixed or not. So I'm going to go into here. You upload your audio by dragging and dropping those files in this box here. They can be MP3, FLAC, or WAV format. The only limitation when it says max length 120 minutes, that is per audio file, not for the entire book. You could upload a 10,000 hour book if you wanted. It would cost you some money, but there's no limitation on the total length of the book. Generally, we recommend you upload them chapter by chapter for a number of reasons. The only main limitation for a matching algorithm, which when you upload your audio, it will match that to the relevant section of text in the book, is if you are doing a duet. This does happen in duets occasionally. If you have, say, the male narrator recording the odd chapters and the female recording the even chapters, do not upload non-sequential chapters in the same audio file. So don't upload chapters 1, 3, and 5 in the same file because Pozotron will not be able to skip full chapters in the middle of an audio file. So just record them as individual audio files. That's really the main limitation of this. So you can see here it shows 12 out of 12. This means there are 12 annotations and nothing has been marked as a pickup. I'm going to open proofing. And what you can see here on the right, this is the text of the script. This gray text is what is found in the text in the manuscript immediately before the audio begins. Everything here on the left are the annotations with the timestamp and the details, and each of them is paired with a red underline here on the right. You can navigate around the page by clicking and dragging this. You can click up here and enter the timestamp you want to jump to, or you can click on any of these cards here on the left to jump, I think, 2 seconds before, or click anywhere on the text and it'll jump to that point in the audio. A very user-friendly way. I'm going to listen to this audio. It takes 2 minutes and we'll go through each individual thing here.
Version 2. Pozotron Studio is an AI-powered audio production tool designed to ensure that performance always comes first. Our technology and tools exist to help teams of creative people and their technical support make the best performances more accurate, efficient, and in less time. Since Pozotron is more accurate and sensitive than a human proofer, your proofers and editors won't need to worry about accurate pronunciations or word-perfect narration, instead focusing on dialogue, dialect, and performance. Our audio proofing tool is designed to catch the key mistakes your narrator may make during narration, including words accidentally added into the script by the narrator.
So you can see here, word inserted accidentally. I'm going to mark that as a pickup. One thing I should have touched on is that the first annotation of every chapter and the last annotation of every chapter is that the chapter started and ended at the correct time. For example, if we go here, at least through ACX or Audible, the start of every audio file needs to start with chapter number, chapter title. So if this was not included in the audio file, you're going to need to look at you'd say audio missing because it did not start at the right place. And go back here. We will answer that question in a second. So I marked that as a pickup. Go to the next one here.
Words missed from the script. Of course.
He did not say he omitted that should be narrated. I'm going to mark that as a pickup.
Of course, it will find misperceptions and misspoken words.
He says the wrong word there. Misperceptions should be mispronunciations. You can mark that as a pickup. One other thing that is a bit of a hidden feature, if you prefer the S/B instead of the arrow, you can actually customize that inside of your account by going to your user profile, going to proofing and prep, and you can change misread format here to S/B. Okay, we'll keep going.
Of course, it will find misperceptions and misspoken words, pauses longer than 2 seconds, noises.
So pause detected 2.4 seconds. You can click long pause or it will flag everything over 2 seconds. If you want to increase that threshold for the rest of your project, you can use this filter out button. And filter out for a pause means, would you like to automatically filter out other pauses shorter than this one? Click yes, and any pause shorter than 2.4 seconds highlighted throughout the rest of the book will no longer be shown as a potential mistake. Filter out for the mispronunciations means every time, so if I wanted to change the word mispronunciations in the text to misperceptions in the audio for the rest of the book, click filter out and Pozotron will ignore this exact annotation throughout if it occurs later in the book. So if you have let's say Johnny's name, you want to pronounce it Junie, for example, and you read Junie every time throughout the book, and Pozotron basically suggested Junie should be Johnny, click filter out, it'll no longer suggest that throughout the rest of the book. Okay, I'm going to click that actually as a pickup. So a couple more things. We do catch
noises, including audio distortions, synthetic sound issues, and natural noises like a dog barking or a fire truck siren.
So you can see noise detected here. This was a hard clip in your audio file. Again, click filter out and it'll ignore all of those annotations throughout the rest of the book. I'm going to mark that as a pickup. And I'm also going to show something here. If that's something you're going to fix in editing, you can tag at editing and export a separate pickup packet just for the editor to pay attention to. Here we've got noise detected animal, domestic animal, pets, dog bark, bow wow, as well as noise detected vehicle, motor vehicle, emergency vehicle, alarm, siren. I'm going to tag editing in each of these as well. And I will show you how to customize that pickup packet. One thing about our noise detection, Stephanie, my dog is growling at the screen. The barking got him. Fantastic. The one thing to note about our noise detection, it is in beta. It's coming out of beta very soon. We are doing a full re-optimization of our noise detection algorithm to ensure that things that are currently being missed in our beta are not missed. And also we have added the ability when you create your project, and I'm going to get to this later as well, but I may as well show it now, where you can control the proofing sensitivity. And this is for word mistakes, missed words, added words. Mostly this covers pronunciations. And then noise detection sensitivity to relaxed, normal, and extra sensitive. Generally, what you're going to show for both of these, normal to relaxed, is 25 to 33% fewer suggestions, and normal to extra sensitive, 25 to 33% more suggestions. Okay, I'm going to ignore these last few. And when you're done proofing, let me just see if there's anything else. Filter out, we covered that. Annotation filters, this is a good one to cover. So I'm going to go into the next project here, our next book, and you can actually show only certain types of annotation. For example, I only want to see pauses. I can go show pauses, both of them have been auto-filtered, or I can go hide pauses, and it'll only show the non-pause annotation. So this is a really powerful way to customize your workflow by using the show hide here. I will show user-created annotations and then speed mode as well. So user-created annotations, if you have something that Pozotron has not caught, an incorrect character voice, for example, you can click and highlight that text, click the speech bubble, type in whatever tag you'd like. So let's say, for argument's sake, this should be a London accent. I could say, click save, and now you've got a pickup marked in yellow. So that shows it is a user-created pickup and not something our algorithm has suggested. And finally, speed mode. If you are looking just to do a spot check, just listen to the things that Pozotron has suggested. What you're going to do, I'm just going to ignore this. You're going to click on this first annotation. You see how it turns yellow. You're going to use the space bar for play and pause. You're going to use the A key for OK, the D key for pickup, and the G key for typo. So you're going to click here, click space.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to
Okay.
Hello, pause.
Okay.
That they're fine through the rest of the book. Next, what happens when you add a word to the script? Pozotron will note this as an added word, and you'll click pick. Also add the tag at editing word. In this, Pozotron will give you an up like this in the annotations list. And whenever this in software will try to combine pickups that are next to each other, combine the same information as the Pozotron generated ones. There are a number of different reasons you'd want to tool. The first release catches hard clip file.
Okay, so we just jumped through 3 minutes of audio in 25 seconds. It is not possible to edit the shortcut keys. There's plenty of reasons why. The reason we chose A, D, and G is that they are evenly spaced, and with your left hand, you can have your right hand on the mouse and your left hand on those keys to be able to easily just do things with one hand. So that's why we chose those. That's why we chose those keys. So that is not currently possible. Okay, now we are going to go into the export types and the reports. So once you've gone in and done your proofing, we have a couple different types of reports. First is the pickup packet, which is an online packet. You can choose online or offline. Offline just downloads the exact same information in a zip file. You can choose to customize it, so you can include or exclude certain pickup types or pickups that you've tagged people in. I'm going to do the whole entire thing. You can choose your timestamps to the start of the chapter or to the start of the book. And then narration context means how many words around that pickup it's going to show. Click export. Then it looks like this. We've actually redesigned this. Well done, Lindsay, for a really cool design. But you can copy this URL up here, and that means you're going to send that link to whoever needs to receive this packet. This has if I tagged at editing, I can click here and only show the pickups that the editor needs to pay attention to, or I can go to everything. here you've got the details that are the notes that you included, the tag, the timestamp, the text, as well as the audio.
And performance. Our audio proofing tool is
So you can also download this audio file if you do choose, or change the playback speed. And if you do want to just minimize certain chapters, you can use these handy icons to minimize and maximize chapters. And you can also sort first to last or last to first. So a very easy way to use this. You can also use this link here to show your character guide and pronunciation guide. You can select changing the timestamps, or you can also export this in Excel or an MP3 of all of the, why can't I think of the word, of all the pickups, sorry. Or you can export DAW markers, which basically means you're going to be able to mark in your session for Pro Tools, Audition, Reaper, Audacity, Studio One, Twisted Wave, Hindenburg, Nuendo, and Wavelab. You'll be able to mark those in your files. If you want to look at the Excel version of this, you're going to go import, export, proofing report. You can customize a couple things, click export. And yes, we are going to show you the typo packet right now. That is a good segue. I had not forgotten. So you can send the typo report in two ways. So this is the Excel of all the pickups. The typo report is a separate worksheet on this export. Or you can send, if you want to send it with the audio files as well, you can go pickup packet, include. You can't include typos. Johnny, if you could make a note here, we should add the way where you can just export an online packet for typos. So that is good feedback. Currently, you use the Excel and just send them that one worksheet. So that's how you send those typos to the author. And DAW markers, I did cover that as well. Our plan, depending on your payment plan, depending on your payment plan, there are some limitations into which DAWs are supported. So if you are getting a question saying this account needs to have a publisher plan to continue for Pro Tools, for example, contact us. We can add Pro Tools or any other DAW marker support to any plan. Bob McCoy, happy, it's good timing. So I will show you this here. So from the DAW marker perspective, the pay-as-you-go plan only supports Audacity. The Smart Rollover and Narrator plan cover everything except for Pro Tools, and the Publisher plan only supports Pro Tools. Oh, sorry, covers everything including Pro Tools. If you do want to add Pro Tools to any plan, contact us. It's a $2 per hour, $2 per hour per finished hour upcharge, surcharge. We can add that as well. In terms of other features, the only other limitations, really, the Smart Rollover plan is the only one with rollover credits, which basically means if you don't use your monthly allotment you're paying for, that they roll over month to month. And then you do get a discount the higher level your plan, the lower you pay per book on the script prep prices. And Kim, yes, we will definitely look into Gold Wave. I'll add that to Johnny's to-do list as well. Okay, that is the proofing tool. Do we have any more questions? Addie, I uploaded a PDF to Pozotron and had, so good. Addie, I am going to handle this later because this is one of the topics we are going to cover. We are going to go to cover some PDF best practices. Okay, audio analysis. This is a relatively new tool that we launched. Basically allows you to test your mastered audio files. It doesn't have to be your mastered, but I would recommend you use your mastered audio files against your distributor specs. So you're going to go into audio analysis here. You can add chapters you've already uploaded to the proofing tool, or you can just upload your mastered audio files here. You can choose your test preset, or you can create, so we've got ACX/Audible, Audiobooks Unleashed and Authors Republic. We will be adding more too. And if you do have some suggestions for what we can add, please just shoot us an email to hello@pozotron.com or type it in the Q&A. But you choose your test preset and you're going to click Show Analysis. And this tests your audio file for duration, sample rate, sample peak, true peak, RMS, noise floor, room tone, top duration, room tone, tail duration, file format, audio channel, and bitrate. These are against the publicly available specs for each of those distributors. We have also just launched the ability to test for alphanumeric file names. So basically making sure that only letters, numbers, and underscores are found in your, so no special characters, because I believe ACX only can allow alphanumeric file names. You can also create your own test specifications. So if you go to an audio analysis, you can create your own tech time. Okay, Johnny, if you can take a note of that, please. So you can create your own specifications, customizing what types of tests, as well as what are the acceptable levels for each of these tests. In future, I think the real differentiation point is going to be our ability to use ASR, which is automated speech recognition, to add additional tests. For example, one of the ones we have envisioned is to make sure that the first words spoken in every chapter file are chapter number, chapter title. So chapter 1, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, for example, that is a requisite for successful distribution through ACX. So that is one example. Another one is if you upload your sample file, making sure that there are no sexual or explicit terms in that sample file. So these are all the things that we're going to be adding to differentiate this feature from some other ones that are available. Okay. I'm going to take a breath for a second. Now we're going to go through Pozotron best practices. Addie, this is where we're going to cover your question, PDF issues. For those of you who don't know, PDFs are an extremely flawed file format that go back to when PDFs were actually invented. So PDFs, when someone, whoever invented them, decided they wanted to create essentially an electronic version of an actual paper document, they, instead of starting from scratch, they used a computer language that had been created for inkjet printers called PDF. So basically they had a round peg, square peg, round hole situation, and they just made it work. So that is basically the crux of why PDFs have issues. When we get a PDF uploaded, we convert it to clean HTML. Using what's called an OCR process, optical character recognition. Unfortunately, some PDFs have unrecognized fonts, corrupt fonts, many other issues. The most common one can be ligatures. And so a ligature basically means, let me see if I can find an example here. Here we go. Here's a good example. This is an example of a ligature. A ligature means that there isn't full white space around every character. So when Pozotron, or if you try and import a PDF into Microsoft Word, either using the PDF export to Word function, or just copying and pasting your text, what happens is that word processor attempts to figure out what character in the language is each character. Here, when you see FI combined, there is no FI character in the language, so that's why it glitches out. Our tool, as well as Word and many others, cannot figure out what character this is supposed to be, and there's an error. It's most common with FI, FF, TF, TT, IT in certain fonts. That used to be our most common support ticket, where we'd get probably 10 a week. We get maybe 2 to 3 a month now. We've had a couple this week, but for the most part, through very creative software practices, we've eliminated the vast majority of ligature issues. There are a couple ways that we can fix this. Addie, if you do have an issue with PDF text, our first suggestion is when you upload your script, you can do one of two things. So first, when you upload your script, your project will look like, here we go. You can go import, export, book full text. I don't think I've actually even shown Johnny this, so this is a good one. Book full text. This will show you what our parsing of your script looks like. So if there is ligatures, this will show up really oddly. It'll show all of the FIs or IFs showing as an unreadable character, for example. So that's option 1. Option 2, just upload your first chapter audio file. So basically that means upload 1. If it shows a huge mistake, you won't have uploaded an entire book worth of audio to find that there is a mistake. So those are our 2 best suggestions. The third one would be, before you even upload things into Pozotron, take your PDF, copy and paste 2 pages of your PDF into Microsoft Word. If that has an issue with a ligature or other PDF issue, Pozotron will likely have the same issue. So those are the 3 best options. Export book full text, because this basically shows us, wrong one, here we go. This shows you our parsing of your script. 2, upload a single audio file. And then 3, click and highlight that PDF. And if none of those, if you still have an issue after that, use the get help button up here, type us the information, ideally upload a screenshot or anything else, and we can help you from there.
Quick question, Adam, on the audio analysis. I'm not sure if you can see it in the Q&A, but there's a quick question on that.
So we basically need to upload each chapter at least twice to be able to use the audio analysis specs. So if you are uploading, so first of all, audio analysis is completely free of charge currently. There is absolutely no cost to using that tool. If you use this, you're using the same chapters that you proofed with and you're doing here, there's no additional upload. It just transfers that file from one feature to another. If you upload your mastering files, yes, that is a separate upload here, but again, there is no charge. When we do start charging for this feature, once we've added new functionality and received as much user feedback as we need to really ensure it's fully optimized, what we're going to do is it'll be a much smaller charge. We haven't figured out exactly what the pricing is going to be, but our processing cost for processing and uploading audio analysis is a fraction of what we have to pay through our cloud servers for proofing upload. So I hope that makes sense. If we have a Word version, is that a safer option than a PDF script? Not necessarily. There are more issues in PDFs, but if you have a Word version, it is certainly a good option and you won't have those ligature issues for sure. Okay, Pozotron support. There are a couple ways that you can access our support. So first, you can go to here, support.pozotron.com. This is where we have all of our support information. You can helpfully search here or go to individual topics. We've got, most of the time we have pictures. Sometimes we actually have, on many of them, we actually have videos as well. Tutorial videos on exactly how to use that feature or fix a problem. The second one, you can go to Pozotron's YouTube page, where we have video tutorials for pretty much every feature or individual custom workflows. We also have the recordings of our webinars as well. And then finally, how to submit a support ticket. We would recommend your best way is to use this get help button because for a couple of reasons. One, makes it easy. It automatically populates your first name, your last name, and your email. You can choose what type of issue you're having. You can also select, it will automatically provide us with the link to your project and share that project with our support team automatically. Type the details of your issue. Please be as specific as possible. Otherwise, we're going to have to go back and forth with some question and answers and drag and drop any snapshots of, or screenshots, I should say, of an error message you're receiving or some weird thing our proofing tool is showing you. The more information you can give us, the fewer back and forth emails we're going to have. We respond very quickly. We provide round the clock, almost around the clock service between Johnny, myself, Lindsay, and Daria, who is in Europe. We cover, I think, 21 of the 24 hours on the clock. So you will receive an answer very quickly. We often will send you a custom Loom video as well to show you exactly what you need to do to fix your issue. You can also email help@pozotron.com. That usually means we have to go back and forth a couple times with some more questions. So again, that get help button is your best way, or you can go to the contact us page on our website, pozotron.com/contact, and submit a ticket that way. New feature releases that we've just added. We've released some pretty cool stuff. At long last, this has been requested for a very long time, the ability to cancel an upload. Sometimes people make mistakes. They upload the wrong file or the duplicate of the same file. So we have now added cancel upload. I will show you how this works. On computer. There we go. Okay, I'm going to find an audio file, though. Here we go. I'm going to, apologies, my computer is, I think it's trying to fly off my desk based on the noise. So I'm going to drag and drop here. You can see as soon as the file actually uploads here, you have the cancel upload button until it gets to step 2 or 3 in the process. Are you sure you want to cancel it? Yes. You have the opportunity to cancel that upload through the first couple steps in the process until we have gone to the point where we have basically incurred enough costs through our processing pipeline to make it impossible to cancel it for good. If you do want to have a delay added, so it currently doesn't have a delay, we're planning a couple things. We're going to have the ability to add, users can request 3 to 5 to 10, however long you want second delay. If you are constantly making mistakes and having to ask us for refunds, we can add a short delay to allow you to have more time to cancel that upload. So that would be number one. Number two, we currently do continue to give freebies for mistaken uploads. If this becomes a pattern where we're giving a lot of upload credits for people who are constantly making mistakes, we are going to start adding that delay to give you more time to catch it, to prevent A, you having to come to us and ask for a refund, and B, our support team having to give refunds to the same people over and over again. So that is just a way to protect you, to protect us. So that cancel upload functionality will definitely help a lot of people. We have redesigned the pickup packets like I showed you. We do find a lot of people have their first interaction with Pozotron through receiving that pickup packet from a producer or an editor. And so we really worked to make that as user-friendly and aesthetically pleasing as possible. The alphanumeric file name check in audio analysis, which I mentioned. We've also added localization. So currently you can show the entire Pozotron page in Espanol, as well as in Deutsch. Deutsch being German. Finally, the noise detection sensitivity, where you can separately control your noise detection as well as your word proofing errors. And then finally, in the pronunciation Excel packet, now if you download that pronunciation in Excel, it will now have a link to the actual audio recording. So you click a link and it will open up in a web page so you can listen to the audio recordings you made for that pronunciation. Can you add a proceed with processing button so it doesn't automatically start the steps? We cannot do that actually, because A, it will create a major delay for people if they forget to click it. What we do is we have essentially, you can request that we add a processing delay of as long as you would like. We can add that, but unfortunately we're not. Technically, it's extremely challenging and will create user problems and technical problems to make it a two-step process, upload and then click another thing to process. Finally, upcoming feature releases. We are adding a project management tool, which will allow you to, this is going to first be launched to our publisher customers. We're going to be getting feedback and then we'll be rolling out a pared down version for all users. But this will essentially allow you to assign a project team, assign narrators by chapter, by actual narrator name, narrators by chapter, per book, editors, researchers, and much greater customization options for tagging users. So I could tag at Johnny F, for example, instead of editing, and do a number of different things. That's going to be very exciting. And that's hopefully going to be launching in 6 days. We'll have confirmation from the dev team on Monday or Tuesday. That's going to 100% go ahead next week. Two-factor authentication. We will enable users to use the Google Authenticator app to have two-factor authentication. We will not make it mandatory at first, but I foresee a time where we do make that mandatory for all users, because that's going to be essential for the security of not only your accounts, but also the data, the manuscripts and audio files you upload into Pozotron. We are adding a bunch more improvements to the pronunciation tool as well over the coming weeks and months. And the character tool is going to get a huge update over the summer. The biggest thing being able to click a button that will pull the most descriptive references to a character, either their personality or their dialogue from the book, as well as automatically highlight all lines of a character's dialogue in the PDF in a certain color. Very exciting updates there. Question from Kim: is there a way to reproof the audio once editing is done? Yes, Kim, what you're going to do, you're just going to ideally name chapter 1_V2, name the audio file differently. You don't have to, but it will make your life easier. Re-upload that audio. You will get a prompt saying transfer OK annotations. And that basically means any annotation, change that back to English, because despite my last name being Fritz, I speak no German. What you're going to do is you can transfer those OK annotations, which means any annotation in version 1 of the approval of the audio file will automatically be okayed in seconds. So you don't have to go and re-click those. And you do get a 50% discount the second time you upload the same audio file or a very substantially similar audio file. So that's how you can reproof it, Kim. Okay, that is everything we've covered. We managed to do it with 2 minutes to spare. We can obviously go a little bit over if needed. Lindsay, if you don't mind just telling the dev team, we'll be a couple minutes late for the next meeting. If we have any more questions, now is your chance.
One thing to add, from all of these great suggestions, this is how we come up with our next feature releases. We do have an area from our support page where you can enter feature requests that will go straight to us and go to the development team as well. So I will drop the link in there, and Adam is showing you where that is right here. But I'll put the link in as well. For anyone who has any other ideas that come to you later, we're always happy to hear that feedback.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone. If you were late or want to be able to rewatch this, we will be emailing all registered participants a link to the webinar. Thank you, Douglas. That's very great feedback. We do all this work because we want all of your productions to be easier, faster, and more efficient. So I'm a huge believer in the art of audiobooks. It occupies my kids to no end when I just need a couple minutes, and I appreciate everything you guys do as narrators and production specialists. You will receive a link to this webinar in YouTube, and you can also go to our YouTube page as well. It'll be uploaded a little bit later this week. So thank you very much for your time, and have a great rest of your week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.